Hey Husker Nation, how we doing? Shane Powers here, Red White Corn Sports, coming to you to preview this upcoming matchup versus Rutgers. Um, 3 p.m. kickoff, Memorial Stadium. Not quite kegs, eggs in football. Not quite under the lights as either. So should be a good matchup. First afternoon kickoff. This game fixing to be hot, fixing to be a little windy. Can the Nebraska Cornhuskers stop Kyle Monangai? Let's talk about it right here, right now. Guys, if you haven't already, make sure you subscribe to the channel. That's how you keep getting the notifications. That's how you keep getting this content. Smash that like button. Drop your score prediction below. Now let's dive into Rutgers and what makes them a unique matchup for us this weekend. Kyle Monangai. You may have heard of him. Rutgers running back and the Big Ten leading rusher is coming to Memorial Stadium this Saturday. Okay, again, guys, that's going to be a 3 p.m. kickoff. 3 p.m. kickoff. It's supposed to be almost 100 degrees, looking like it may be a little windy as well. Um, but you know that heat actually plays advantage towards us now that the Nebraska has flipped its sideline. So, um, New Jersey doesn't get quite that hot, I don't think. So it may be a little bit advantage Nebraska as far as weather and climate goes. But where comes advantage Rutgers? You know him, you've seen him. I'm sure you've heard the name Kyle Monangai. Kyle Monangai, what a Monangai. Um, He's Rutgers running back. He's all of 5'9", 209 pounds, guys. Not the biggest running back by any stretch of the imagination that we faced this year. But my goodness, he's the most physical runner, and he's the best running back we faced this year, okay? Keep in mind, we've played running backs from Northern Iowa that were 240 pounds. We've played running backs from Illinois who are 250 pounds, 6'4", 6'3". Doesn't matter. 5'9", 209, Kyle Monangai, leading rusher in the Big Ten, one of the best running backs in college football. He's a hard physical runner, and one of the things that makes it so hard to take down is he just runs through contact, keeps going. Look at this clip here.
End is in the slot left. Monangai, look at him bouncing outside. That's special. He is special. That is some kind of Monangai.
Pretty wild, right? So um, Nebraska's got to find a way, and that's where Nebraska's defense has not been the best this year, is bringing people down on first contact, right? And that's something Monungai's good at, something Rutgers is good at, hitting and making first contact, falling forward another 5, 6 yards. Now, last week against Purdue, Nebraska faced the two smallest running backs they've had all year, both around 200 pounds, 6'1", 6 foot, and they contained them very well. Still a little bit of leaky yardage here and there, but not overall very well played by Nebraska. Monangai is going to be a test. But what I like about this, guys, is Nebraska has had since they opened the first two games, UTEP, Colorado, air raid, spread schemes. They've played physical teams since then. Northern Iowa, Illinois, Purdue, now Rutgers, that are going to try to run the ball. They should be ready and up for the task by now, I would hope, because if they're not now, they're not going to be at any point during this year. Now, the other thing that you need to know about Rutgers, which is kind of scary, is Ethan Kalakamakis, transfer from Minnesota. Not the best passer out there, definitely not one of the better quarterbacks in the Big Ten, I would say, just from a pure passing perspective. But he's got legs, guys, and he will take off on you, and he's fast. Okay, Nebraska has struggled against quarterbacks that can escape the pocket and move the chains with their legs. Nebraska struggled with that. Um, it worked against Illinois, did that against us quite a bit, and that worked to their advantage quite a bit. So Nebraska's got to contain Ethan Kalakamakis in the pocket, and they've got to shut down Kyle Monangai. And if they do that, guys, should be a fairly easy victory. Against Washington, Rutgers defense gave up a ton of almost 300 passing yards, quite a few rushing yards, um, and so their defense, it's not bad by any stretch of anyone's imagination, but um, it's not top in the Big Ten or anything like that. So against Washington, they gave up 314 passing yards, they gave up 200 rushing yards, 207 rushing yards. Okay, 500 yards of offense they gave up to Washington. Still lost. Now, Here's what's interesting, guys. Washington lost. They missed, I think, 2 field goals in that game, including one at the buzzer. They missed 2 field goals in that game. Okay, we all know right now Nebraska is not a team that you can line up and expect to make a field goal from any range at all. You hold your breath even when the extra points come out. So they've got to finish drives with touchdowns. That's clear. They're going to have to finish drives with touchdowns on offense. They've got to get the run game established and going more than we have lately. And you know, I know last week we did a lot of the cute jet end around and jet sweeps and stuff like that. Well, it ain't gonna be as effective this week, guys. We used it quite a bit. We leaned on it quite a bit against Purdue, and I promise you, Rutgers has studied it and they're ready for it. So, what does Satterfield do to adjust himself in the running game? Can we get a normal handoff to the running back, upfield running game going? Look for Emmett Johnson to get more carries this game, guys. It was the Dante Dowdell show, but Emmett Johnson looks to be the more explosive back there now at this point in the season. I think you got to go with the hot hand. I would look to give Emmett Johnson going early and often, and then just ease Raiola into the game. Raiola is obviously an electric passer. The receivers are going to be ready. But if we can establish a ground game instead of having to rely on Raiola's arm every down, then, you know, the offense should be fine. Defensively, again, you got to stop Kyle Monangai. What a Monangai he is. Very physical runner, leading rusher in the Big Ten. Got to stop him. Got to contain him. We do that. We contain the QB run and Kyle Monangai, you know, and the defense looked better last week. So um, we do that. I like our odds quite a bit to beat Rutgers. You know, come in, they're 4-0. They didn't get ranked, you know, so and Nebraska's favored as in the betting odds or whatever, you know, in the gambling world, they're favored to win. So um, it's at home game. It's gonna be hot. I think Nebraska's gonna win this game, guys. Um, I don't think it'll be as stressful. I think we'll come together after a slow start to Purdue, and I think Nebraska will beat this game. You know, give me 28-14, Nebraska over Rutgers. Drop your predictions in the comments below. I'd love to see what you think. Can we contain Kyle Monangai? Can we hold him under 100 rushing yards? Um, can we make a field goal this game? I don't know. I'm not predicting it. 28-14. I think we all touchdowns. Touchdowns. I wouldn't even bother to try. Frankly, I would go for it. But we'll see. Drop your comments. Drop your predictions below. I'd love to see what your thoughts are on this game. Go Big Red.